There's a lot of great talent in the UFC, and at any point, you can look up the UFC rankings and find all the talent in those divisions. But what about the guys without the number next to their name? What about the rising talent with only a small handful of fights in the UFC? The talent that really hasn't been given their crack at a ranked opponent. Well, I'm going to be going through each division and telling you who I think the two best unranked fighters in each division are, and giving an honorable mention along the way. In this video, we're going through the super talent-rich, stacked bantamweight division. First off, we have our honorable mention with the 19-3 bantamweight contender, Taylor Double Impact Lapilus. Now, Taylor Lapilus recently just got a second shot in the UFC at UFC Paris when he faced a promotional newcomer, Calvin Logren. And in this fight, he showed an incredible display of striking talent with fast, precise strikes, and he showed some pretty high-level takedown defense, fitting off a majority of Logren's takedowns. But even when he did get taken down, he showed great ability to get back to his feet and keeping off the fence. Now, he's not just a great striker, but he also has a great physical build, standing at 5'6" with a 73-inch reach. That puts him at a +7 ape index, and for reference, that's 1 inch less than John Jones. So this man's physical advantages, paired with his technical striking and takedown defense, it's gonna make him a real threat to some of these bantamweights. Now, we have the undefeated, ferocious Farid Basharat, with Farid being 11-0, with 3 wins in the UFC, including his win on Dana White's Contender Series. This man has been running through the competition, with him actually set to face our honorable mention, Taylor Lapilus, January 13th on the Walker vs. Ankalaev 2 card. This will determine whether I will be right or wrong to put him on this list. Regardless, in his debut against Damon Blackshear, he was able to show us skills in all aspects of his game, with his specialty being his grappling, with 6 of his 7 finishes coming by way of submission. But don't get things twisted, this man does still have some really good striking, showing fast hands, clean combinations against Blackshear, and in this next fight against Taylor Lapilus, it'll really test to see just how good his striking is, and it'll tell us how much he's able to grow and progress between the fights. Finally, we have our last bantamweight, and it is Montel Quick Jackson. This man is good, okay? He was set to face Chris Gutierrez back in October on the Dawson vs. Green card, but he had to pull out due to, I think, injury or sickness. Regardless, he has 9 fights in the UFC, not counting his fight on the Contender Series. He won 7 of those fights, and he's on a 4-fight win streak, okay? We can expect to see him in a ranked opponent in his next outing. Montel Jackson is a strong, fast, and physical person, okay? Standing at 5'10" with a 75.5-inch reach. He's able to utilize his tall stature to push his opponents up against the fence. He's able to use his strength and his height as leverage to keep them up against the fence while he looks for those takedowns. But if he's facing off against a much better wrestler than himself, he can use that long reach. He's able to keep a good distance, and with fast, powerful strikes, he can find an opening and counter. He did that against Ronnie Yaya in his last outing, where he knocked Yaya out in the first round with a step-back right hand, Conor Aldo Sterling O'Malley style. Holding a record of 13-2, we can expect to see Montel Jackson back in that cage, and we can expect to see him against a ranked opponent. Now, that's all I have this time. Again, you think I missed someone that should have been on this list, or you don't like who I put on this list, tell me. I'll maybe go back and change it. Probably not, because I don't really care. Regardless, thank you. Peace.